I just like to do my best in like 30 seconds to kind of summarize both of your guys' positions, and you can correct me if I get anything wrong.
So you can already see a little bit that Jeff smiles a lot more while Stefan on the right does not.
So essentially, carbs play some role in it, but they're not the main driver. Is that upfront kind of accurate?
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. I would maybe modify.
What happened here is that he summarized the position that to him sounds ridiculous and nonsense. He smiles because he wants to subcommunicate, this position is ridiculous, am I right? It's a way of forming a team. In a way, it's also a tool to gang up on someone else that you disagree with. But the researcher here, Stefan, does not bite into it and remains very serious.
Two things there. One of them is with Gary.
He agrees, but without all the smiling. Which, in my opinion, it's also good because for a researcher, he should remain more serious, more distant, and he should also avoid ganging up on others, even if you strongly agree. That was good.
Would you say that your position is the mainstream scientific consensus positioned, position? Do most scientists agree with you or Gary?
He's smiling again because he knows the answer, so he's feeding him. Yes, he stands with the consensus.
So, I hesitate to use the word consensus.
But you noticed he basically shut the door in his face and didn't bite. Instead, he went to nitpick on what consensus mean.
At least in my circle of the internet, this seems like such a fringe position that it's just mocked endlessly. So coming into this debate, it's just like, from my perspective, actually, before we came on the call here, I was reading your bio and I noticed that you're the director or maybe a research assistant for the Examine Research Digest. And yeah, I'm friends with Kamal. I've interviewed him 2 or 3 times. So we've got a few mutual friends there. And just being familiar with this.
Building bridges there through the network, through the common people that they know. But he just says, okay. Yeah, he gives a little bit of a smile, so he's not completely cold. However, a more friendly, warmer person would have said, that person, cool, such a small word, something like that. He would have given back something more. That's another sign that maybe when people do that with you, you also want to give a little bit less from a warmth point of view.
Whereas other people will almost have all those 1,000 calories go straight into adipose.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and thanks for...
And I realized this when I did a video saying that sugar probably isn't the villain that everyone is making it out to be. I heard from all these people. I'm sure you have as well. So
he's trying to build a connection, like we are in the same camp saying that sugar is not the devil. And this time Stefan does indeed smile. So, it was not completely cold, just less warm than Jeff is.
How can people not acknowledge that? I mean, if they're not even correlated, if one is going down and one is going up, how can you still make the case that sugar is the main factor?
Yeah, I think it becomes
his frame is still like, these people who disagree with us are crazy. How can they not agree? But Stefan's answers are more detached, more professional, more scientific.
What's your opinion on sugar's addictive qualities? You talked about how people tend to overconsume on it. Would you go as far as to say it's addictive?
Yeah, I mean, I think there are certain foods. It's tough. It's controversial whether or not we can apply the word addiction.
Same again. He refuses to build bridges and instead nitpicks on what addiction means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's really well said. I'd pretty much totally agree with you on that one, as most of the points you've made. So to kind of wrap this up.
Gave again too much. That passage there, it came across a little bit like fanboying. Oh yeah, I agree with you with everything you say, like you're above me and I look up to you. However, here you notice that he stopped smiling because he realized that he was giving too much and he corrected course, which is very good.
But I really appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy. And
in this case, it's okay to tell your guest that you're a busy guy. I would have not said, I know you're a busy guy. I would have said, I know that research work can get busy, something like that. So you don't increase the difference between you're a busy guy, I was chasing you.